Okay. This morning we were reading, we'll just skip the verse number 2, which said conventional and ultimate. These are accepted as the beings, as being the true truths. Ultimate is not the object of dualistic mind. The dualistic mind is spoken of in relation to the conventional truth. So this is what we read this morning, and we skipped this part. And for this, now we are trying to delve into what is ultimate reality. It says that, therefore, those who wish to pacify suffering should generate wisdom. The wisdom to see the ultimate reality. So, what is ultimate reality? This was the question. And in in this form, how the same reality is seen by the different beings, depending on to what extent you are awakened. Those in the process of awakening, partially awakened, and then still in the process of the further awakening, and finally full awakening. So this is what we've learned thus far. And for this, what is that mean? How do we know that awakening can happen? Or how can I be awakened? This is the question. And that this is, I would say, this is the strength. This is the strength of the Nalanda tradition. Why I'm saying this is that oftentimes we may take for granted that you read this book, you read any other the books like those written by the Nalanda masters, and particularly with the modern education training, we expect some rational thought processes. We expect something very rational, something very logical. And yes, that is what is rendered by the Nalanda masters, be it Acharya Chandrakirti or Bodhisattva, the Arya Nagarjuna, Bodhisattva Arya Deva, and Acharya the Chandrakirti Acharya the Dharmakirti, and the Arya Sangha, Acharya Vasubandhu. We see that these are brilliant thinkers, and the presentations that were being made by these masters, particularly I would say that Nalanda Masters course, now you are studying which text? NMC2. Which text you are studying? Bodhicharyavtara, Entering the Middle Way in English by Acharya Chandrakirti. Okay, by Acharya Chandrakirti. And by the commentary of Lama Tsongkhapa. So this is what they are studying, and Acharya Chandrakirti's way of explanation is so unique, extremely systematic, so logical, amazing. Just like babysitting somebody, and from there just taking you to step by step. This is amazing. So this is something unique of the Nalanda tradition, and myself as a student from 1988, when many of you were still not born. Mark not born? Okay, so from there we just take for granted that it should be like this. These are the great masters. They should be like this. And later on, when I attended many conferences where the scholars from the different traditions, say, meeting with the philosophers from different traditions, then the concepts, many of them, they try to explain something. Then when you push more and more, then it simply disappears into blind faith, where the blind faith is like the ground. And whereas, wow, that's amazing. It's amazing. Then I realized that it was only in my 40s that I realized that we were being really spoon-fed by the Nalanda masters. The writings, the compositions, we were being spoon-fed. For example, that the concept of what constitutes a self. What is a self? The neuroscientists, they discuss on this. The philosophers, they discuss on this. Theologians, they discuss on this. And many say that no, self, nobody can define what self is. But this is too naive of them not to have seen the legacies of the Narada Masters. Say, studying the Narada Masters' texts, we see how all the philosophical traditions, Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chitamatra, Madhyamaga, the two Madhyamagas, how they were debating, how they present their own, the position of the self, and how they present it. They are so beautiful, meticulously articulated. It's amazing done. And then I realized that, wow, I'm so fortunate. What if I did not meet with this tradition? Then I would be just lost in darkness. I have to just flow with the blind faith. And this is what it is. So with this in mind, the wisdom has the element of intelligence and the subtlety of the object. Object should be extremely subtle, and the subject which apprehends the object as well should be very sophisticated. That becomes the wisdom to eliminate the mental defilements, the ignorance, which blinds us from seeing the reality and therefore attracting all the miseries. When the moment that is eradicated, then our miseries will shut down. Miseries will simply crumble down. Like the Earth's iceberg, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, Arctic Circle, iceberg, the iceberg there is extremely firm and stable. And if you can stack buildings and buildings over that, and people then would not really imagine that after 2,000 years later, 3,000 years later, by the time 2024, icebergs, they will start to melt because of global warming. Once the icebergs melt, then what is stacked on top will all crumble down. So self-grasping ignorance, which is like the iceberg, which for us had been all the thousands, innumerable lifetimes, that remained so stable. And on this we stacked all the inappropriate attention, afflictions, then the contaminant karmas, then the miseries stacked one over the other. So now, with the wisdom, the Buddha, Nagarjuna, all these great teachers, the Bodhisattva, Shantideva, they come up with the wisdom. The Buddha taught, and then the Indian masters, they come with the wisdom to share with us. So what is that wisdom? And to know what this wisdom is, what is it like to be in a sleep state, dreaming? And what it's like to be, how it is different from in a waking state. Anyone? What's the difference between you in a sleep state or a dreaming state and in a waking state? What's the difference? What is the difference like? Anyone quick? Okay, then Shambhala. Mike.
In the dream state, the law of cause and effect doesn't operate, and in the waking state, it does.
Okay, in the dream state, the law of cause and effect can be denied, or does not really operate efficaciously. Whereas in the waking state, it operates so efficaciously. Anyone else? What difference? There are so many differences. Srindaula?
In the dream state, I have no choice and freedom.
In the dream, there is no choice. And the waking state, there's a choice. Very good. Anyone else quick? Shat.
Psychologically speaking, in the dream, I experience what I have on the basis of the facts I already experienced and perceived.
And in the waking state?
In waking state, I can be exposed to new information.
Okay. And the dream is more affected by the past memories.
Yes.
And the waking state, you can come in contact with the new experiences. Very good, thank you. And in fact, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I want somebody like, where is Tamule? Otherwise, she will come the last. and she'll waste all our time. Samale, speak up very quickly so that to save time. You give a seal to everything.
I don't know, Geshe. I'll try. In dream, we have no freedom.
Okay, last time you said something. Now you're saying something.
No. This is only coming
Okay,
from-
in dream there's no freedom.
And
We can say there's some degree of freedom. Anyone else? Okay, here. Tinzirangdula.
So, in the loose sense, dream is subjective, and outside of the dream is in a loose sense objective.
Thank you. So we have not much time. You actually gave an answer which I'm expecting. So dream is purely subjective, meaning that whatever happened in the dream, it was all purely coming from your mind. Even the ordinary people can understand it. How many of you agree with this Randula's hands? Whereas in the waking state, in the loose sense, in the waking state as Shat. Okay, what Shat said is that in the waking state we interact with the objective reality. Objective, something new experiences. We can be exposed to new experiences. Or the objective. Dream state, it is subjective. Is there anybody who likes to explain to us? Okay, and then when I say anybody, make sure that all of us give your own answer. You getting it? You take part in this. Because this is a very complicated text and it will make sense to you only if you take part in this. Don't be a passive listener. Okay, anyone? What does it mean by subjective? Quick. What does it mean by subjective? Quick. Brinslav. Quick. Brinslav there.
Subjective means that it comes from the mind.
How many agree with Brinslav? Okay, those who are not raising hands, you are not actually, you are a passive listener. Okay, how many agree with Brinslav? Okay, good, thank you. So, which is coming from your mind, from your subject. Your mind is a subject, which comes from your mind. This is subjective. Which comes independently of your mind is objective. In a loose sense, objective, subjective. So with this, let's say, okay, I don't see anyone with a clay bottle. Yes, over there. Is there anybody who has a clay bottle? Clear bottle, huh? Yes, bottle with water. Okay, this is very sophisticated. Okay, thank you. Okay, why I'm saying sophisticated is that I'll ask a question and you may give me an answer which is different from what I'm expecting. My question is, what is inside this? And you will say, white thing. Right? I'm expecting some other answer. Okay. Okay, what is inside this bottle? Water. Thank you. So there's water there. If I ask the same question, 아니? 되죠. Okay. Okay. So I asked you, and you said that there's water. What is inside is water, and I asked the chemist, what is inside this? You will say, it's H2O. H2O. And I asked the physicist, and the particle physicist, they'll say, it is electrons, protons, neutrons. How many agree with me? Very good. Okay. Now, which of the three perceptions is correct? All three are correct. All three are correct. Okay. If you say that all three are correct, but do you agree with me? Your reaction your mental reaction to the object. How the object appears to you, your mental reaction is very different. When you're very thirsty, you see as water inside, you feel like grabbing at it, you feel like drinking it. You agree? When you're thirsty, when you see this as just electrons, protons, neutrons, you don't feel like grabbing at it. Do you agree? Because electrons, protons, neutrons of the water, and electrons, protons, neutrons, particularly I would say the electrons, protons, neutrons of this rock, of the house, of the flower, it's all just the same. There's no difference. You agree? So the desire to drink does not come, but with the same object perceived as water, you feel like drinking it, you feel like grabbing at it. This is what happens. Okay, so let's say that which of the two we see that there are three different perceptions. This is water, this is H2O, this is electrons, protons, neutrons. Which of the perception is in the first place, all the three different perceptions, they are very different from each other. You agree? You agree? They're very different from each other. I'm not saying which is correct, not correct. We all said that all three perceptions are correct, but they're very different from each other. You agree? So when it comes on the level of the electrons and protons, you see that there's no water. You agree? You agree? And some of you, of course, those who have already studied this philosophy, you will say, yes, I agree. But those who have never heard about these concepts, and you may find it difficult to say, I agree. Okay, how many of you have seen that? For example, say some artist, very creative artist, what they do is that they pick up all the garbage, like the old shoes, old mobiles, and all the garbage things. And then they creatively make some let's say some designs, or some people like Trump. All right? Yes, they make Trump. And then from distance you see there's a Trump there. And actually you come there, it's just a pile of garbage. No, I'm not saying Trump is garbage. This is your interpretation, it's not mine. No, don't interpret it like this. No, I just meant it. Let's say the person creatively designed a person A, right? Person A, not a Trump. And actually, when you come close, you see that it's just a pile of garbage. You're getting it? And if somebody brings you directly to the spot close by this pile, you see that where is Mr. A? There's no Mr. A. It's just a pile of garbage. From distance, you see Mr. A. You're getting it? And say, with respect to Mr. A, say the person sitting away from this pile of garbage, what does that person see? Or what does that person further away from this pile of garbage, what does it see? As a Mr. A. But close by sees a pile of garbage. No Mr. A. Right? No Mr. A. Who is correct? So the person B sees this as a Mr. A. Person C this as a no Mr. A. Who is correct? No, person B and C. Okay, so I said B sees this as a Mr. A. Say, what do you call it? Like the effigy or no, the manicure. Okay, let's say manicure of person A, not person A, because it's not a person A. Manicure of person A, and person C sees this as a pile of garbage. No manicure of person A. Who is correct? Person B is correct or C is correct? Okay, what do you think? Don't look at somebody else and give the answer. Right? What do you think? Yes, over there.
I really want to say that they both are incorrect.
Oh, both are incorrect. Interesting. Why?
Because depending on their position, they see different things, so they are incorrect comparable to each other. So their incorrectness exists only between two of them, in this case.
Okay. So the incorrect means this is not not the absence of the medicate of person A, because person C is seeing this the absence of the medicate of person A. Is wrong?
It would be easy for me to answer if you would not use the word absence, because here what I'm losing.
Okay, let's say the the medicate of person A is correct or not correct?
There is a mannequin, so there is a mannequin, as you said, so it's correct. There is a mannequin of person A.
He just sees a pile of garbage. That's it. He doesn't say anything.
So the person B sees a pile of garbage, and the person C sees the mannequin of person A, right?
So both are correct or not?
I would still stand on my own words that they both are incorrect because they see different
Both are
things.
incorrect.
Yeah.
Okay. So the picture of Mona Lisa is nothing but made of dots. You agree?
I do agree, yes.
So even the painter of the Leonardo da Vinci, he did not paint Mona Lisa. What he painted is not Mona Lisa painting.
When the painting was done,
what he painted and what he saw as a Mona Lisa painting is incorrect, right?
the painting became painting when it was finished, right?
Yes, yes.
So
When it's finished, so is that a Mona Lisa painting or not?
yes, it is.
So when you go too close, then you will see no Mona Lisa painting.
If I go too close, like they say.
No. That is the different story. When you go too close, you just see the dots.
That's right, yes.
So therefore, both are incorrect. The person who sees it is just a dot, and the person who sees the Mona Lisa painting, both are incorrect.
Yes.
Which means he did not paint Mona Lisa painting. Mona Lisa painting is not there.
I think he was painting for like 20 years, so maybe at some point that was not a painting, right?
Okay. Did you all follow what two of us are discussing? Do you follow? Okay. Let me start from the scratch. Just imagine that okay. What is this? What is this? Are you sure? Okay. Medok. Passenger. Okay, it's fine.
Medok?
Okay, medok. Medok means flower. Huh? Okay. Okay, the Ravina, stand up. Just look at him. See, just tell him. I'm asking you. Do you think he is 60 years old or younger than 60 years old? Younger, right? Okay, younger. Okay, what about those people who did not give the answer? What's your impression? Younger. Way younger, right? Are you sure he's younger? What makes you think that he's young? Okay, sit down. What makes you think that he is younger than 60 years old, or he's young? What makes you think that? Quick. His body or the mind? Okay, you all agree? The body is young. Very good. The next question. Okay, first you have to say, are you sure? When you say he's young, his body is young. Not about the mind, it's about the body. How many of you said yes? Not just raise hand, you say yes. Louder. Okay. Don't put down your volume. Don't put down your volume. You getting it? That's the volume of your sound. Yes? Okay. Do you agree with me that his body is nothing but made of cells? And the cells are nothing but made of molecules. And the molecules are made of atoms. And the atoms are all 15 billion years old. Okay, now here, volume is toned down. Right? Whether you are 70 years old or whether you are, he must be just hitting 30. He's just hitting 30. Whether you are 30 years old or whether you are 75 years old, all you are nothing but made of these atoms, and these atoms are all same age. You agree? Not agree? What happened to the volume? Right? So the body is nothing but the atoms, and atoms are all same age. What makes you think that he's young? Now tell me.
Combining different atoms together. So, like, isn't there nuclear fission and fusion so that atoms are not actually all the same age?
Okay.
There's also nuclear decay.
Okay. Okay. Say law of conservation of energy. You're getting it? Law of conservation of energy. And it's not created, nor destroyed. You're getting it? They're all, whether in the form of energy or atom, these two can be convertible. But there's nothing new created, there's nothing newly, whether it's energy or atom, they all come from, they all are all 15 billion years old. Yes, no. What happened to the volume? Huh? If you still say yes, right, you could not understand what is 15 billion years old. You're getting it? They're all same age, you don't know that. So from that point of view, where is that young man? Where is it? Where is that? On the object is all 15 billion. So you just pick up everything, anything from this young man, we see that is all 15 billion years old. There's nothing young there. Right? But you do see, undeniably, you see a young man. You agree? Not agree? Yes. Where is this young man? Which of the atoms? Which of the body? You don't see. Where is it now? Tell me. Yes. Shak.
Thank you. Shak.
Where is it?
It's the way the atoms are composed.
Whether atoms composed or configured?
Both. Configured, composed, the way they are
No,
together.
composed?
Okay, let's forget about composition. The way that they're connected together makes matter.
So what is that? What is that connected together? What is that? Where is that? Is it on the object or on the subject?
Our judgment of the perception.
Judgment of the perception is on the object or the subject?
Our judgment is the subjective.
Very good.
But we are conceptualizing something outside of ourselves.
Very good. So the judgment of which conceptualizes something outside of us, that judgment is inside.
Judgment is inside?
Not outside.
No.
Okay,
inside.
so the young
Subject,
is not outside. Young is inside you.
Young is inside.
Not outside. He's not young. You are young.
Judgment is always in the subjective.
This is what I'm saying. So he's not young. Young is just your judgment.
Judgment?
Anybody who sees him young is hallucinating.
Okay, let me rephrase.
No, we
Young,
understand it.
okay.
We understand what he's saying.
Okay.
Anyone else, where is this young man which undeniably you perceived? Where is it? Huh? Over here.
Мы можем видеть этого молодого человека на относительном уровне. На абсолютном уровне мы его не увидим.
We can see this young man only on the conventional level. We cannot see him on the ultimate level.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Okay, how many of you undeniably see a young man there? Raise hands. Undeniably see a young man there. And where does it appear from? From where does it appear? From the object or from the subject? From where does it appear? It appears that this young man is from the object. It appears as from the object. Or it appears from this subject. From the object, it appears as from the object. But when I ask this question, that on the object, it's just all whatever he has, atoms, electrons, protons, they're all 15 billion years old. There's nothing young, right? If 70 years is not young, if 80 years is not young, for sure 15 billions is not young, right? So with this, where is it? And then you feel the uneasiness in your mind. Okay, I cannot give the answer. Resents. I cannot give the answer. To be very honest, I cannot give the answer. Okay, if it does happen, if it, in a way like it challenges you, something from inside, cognitively you are challenged. If this is what happens to you, you are in a proper track. So in a way, it is helping you discover that what I'm seeing is not the reality. I see the young person there, but I cannot locate it. Where's this young person? It cannot be really pinpointed. Whereas it does appear, undeniably it does appear exists from there, but this is questionable now. So far I never questioned it. Today, it becomes questionable whether something is young is really there from the object. So likewise, think of, let's say the opposite gender. These are something which can be which can be very striking to our mind. Like the gender conflicts, fights, they're all happening because of the gender, on the basis of the gender. Let's say the gender, the male, female, so forth. So you could think of anybody, a gender, a person with the opposite gender, or whatever. And this person, again, is nothing but made of atoms. You agree? And this is just atoms. If you don't believe in it, just look at the person through electron microscope. Then you will have a feeling of, say, is this a person that I'm seeing? You realize that you just get that feeling like this feeling of that you cannot believe. It can't be true. It's just a bunch of atoms. On that level, on the atomic level, where's the male, where's the female? Where is it? Okay, just tell me. Tell me. No, volume shut down. So what I'm saying is that these reflections, if they give you a sense of challenge, okay, I'm challenged, I don't have the answer to this question, it's very true. Then see how your emotions react to this. How your emotions react to this. The moment you see the other person in a form of a bunch of atoms, when you literally see that in the form of a bunch of atoms, your emotions will instantly cool down. Pull and push will instantly just shut down. They're so powerful. So because all these in the past, like kings, kingdoms, they wage wars against because of the relationship issues. And today also, all these family problems are happening because of this. It's all okay, so let's say that how many of you would be so happy if somebody brings a cheesecake for you now? Raise hands. Or momos. Raise hands. Okay, good. Momos, cheesecake, whatever. Okay, now would you be, emotionally, right, become so active or excited to see the momos or to see cheesecake in front of you? If yes, raise hands. Okay, now my question to you is, think of a momo. Think of a cheesecake. Think of that. Are you excited? Is the excitement aroused? Not aroused. Huh? If your answer is yes, it's not aroused. Right? Okay. So both are coming from your mind. But one triggers this excitement and the other doesn't trigger the excitement. Okay, now this is a good time for us. Okay, look at somebody who is sitting next to you. Just look at somebody who is sitting next to you. Okay, I didn't ask you to smile. Just look at the other person. I didn't ask you to smile. Okay, Ilengo, look at the lady next to you. Hey, the lady next to you. Okay. Okay. By the way, Ilengo's smile is so beautiful. Okay, thank you. Okay, so you smiled. You're getting it? Okay, now close your eyes. Close your eyes and think of the same person who made you smile. Think of the same person who made you smile. Okay, now nobody's smiling. Nobody's smiling. If you are smiling, it is time for you to go to mental hospital. Shohedi? Right? So we have to take her to mental hospital. Luckily, it's 1 out of 130 people, only one. Okay, so what I'm saying is that, and now tell me, why in the case of the first, where you look at the person, it makes you smile. While in the second case, you just think of that person, it doesn't make you smile. Why? Can somebody give me a convincing answer? Anyone? Resents? Can somebody give me an answer? Convincing answer? Why in the first case, okay, don't worry, convincing. I should not have used this word. Okay, you just give me an answer. Why it makes you smile? Okay, the Deepakji.
So Geshe, when I see my colleague or my friend, I have a sense perception. I am seeing her with my eyes. So my smile is just a response to that perception.
Okay, your smile is in response to the eye perception by your eye consciousness.
Yes, yes.
And when you imagine that?
So when I imagine, then again, there is a image, but the image was not that clear. It is blur.
Okay. So which means that those people who require glasses, if you remove the glasses, they don't smile. Because the image is less, it's blurry, right? So if people remove the glasses, then you will not smile. Right? Because the image is not too clear. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, the lady over there. With the green shirt.
Меня зовут Ирина. Я думаю так. Когда я смотрю на другого человека, происходит контакт. Мой ум глаза воспринимает другого человека и дает сообщение моим нейронам, что это живой человек, ну и стоит ему улыбнуться, чтобы быть дружелюбным. А когда я закрываю глаза и представляю этого человека в своем уме, мой ум понимает, что это не живой человек, а только его картинка. То есть, изображение. Ну и что ему улыбаться-то изображению?
Hello, Venerable Geshe. My name is Irina. In the first case, the contact with a person happening, my eye consciousness perceives a person, and then my eye consciousness passes the signal to my mind, to my neurons, and then I understand there is a living being in front of me, therefore it's valid to smile to him because of the contact. And in the second case, my mind understands that there is no living being in front of me, so there is no basis for smiling.
Okay. How many of you are in favor of her answer? How many are in favor of your answer? Okay. Do you agree with me? So what she said, she came in contact with the person in the first case. In the second case, she doesn't come in contact with the person, just it's the image. Okay. In the first case, look, in the first case, say the contact with the person, what you've actually seen is the thin layer of the skin of the face. Thin layer of the skin, this is the only direct contact with your sense consciousness for both of you. And that thin skin is not a person. You did not come in contact with the person. You just came in contact with the thin skin, the skin of the person's face. That is not a person. You're getting it? So, that is not a person. So, in the first place, where is this person? On the object, where is this person? Same question. Where is the person? It's just made of atoms. Atoms are not a person. So where is that person? You see it, so you think there's a person. Where is it? Where is it? This question. If you say it is in your mind, then it's your, say, the image coming to your mind. Then in the second case, it's the image coming to your mind. It's the same. But in the first case, you smiled. In the same case, you do not smile. Both are just images coming to your mind. Okay, Anna. Mike, Anna here.
In the first instance, we believe that that person exists and is objectively real. And the second, we know they're not real, that it's just an image in our mind. So at the first instance, we feel a little bit self-conscious because we see them as another person. And in the second, there's no self-consciousness because we know it's just an image in our mind.
Okay, so how many agree with what Anna said? In the first case, you see the person as really there, as objectively there. In the second case, you know that it's not really there, it's just it's subjective, that your mind is creating it. In the first case, you see that as from the object coming to you. So, become a little self-conscious, these things happen. How many of you agree with Anna? Very good. Now the question is that perception, when you see that it is just coming from your mind, then your emotion is under control. You agree? Whereas when you think that it's coming from the object, then your emotions is stirred, like self-conscious. And how many of you had a stage fright? Stage fright, particularly when you were really young, you were on a stage of fear. Why? It's just a bunch of atoms. Why are you scared? Why are you scared? But you don't see them as a bunch of atoms. You see them intrinsically, objectively, as so many people there. You agree? So this perception is, say, in your realization. So this teaching helps us to change your perception in your realization. That just as when you think of the person, your emotions are under control. So likewise, when you see the other person there as a real person, still your emotion will be under control, because seeing that is actually coming from mind, from the object is not really there. But it's not just, making you, no, don't just imagine there are a bunch of atoms. No, you are made to discover that the person that you are seeing is just coming from mind, it's not really from the object. You getting it? This is what the Buddha discovered that what we are seeing is like illusion. So what the text says, the common people seeing things in one way as objectively real, and the yogis see things as subjectively real. You're getting it? So this is the difference. So this text helps us to give a map to how to transition from seeing things as objective to the subjective. So now what we are saying is that what is inside this is just a bunch of atoms. You agree with me, right? And then if you ask me, but there's something to drink, where is that? Where is this? So when you go too close to the object, it's just the atoms. There's nothing to drink. But you undeniably you see something as drinkable. So where is that thing which appears as something drinkable? Where is it? And if it gives you a feeling of little uneasiness, yes, he's right, I can give the answer. If you feel little uneasiness, raise hands. Okay, this is so important. This is so important This is so important. And this thought must be cultivated deeper, deeper, and more stable. If this uneasiness is coming, you're getting it? Okay. So with this in mind, why for some people this is just a water? Why for some people this is just electrons, protons, neutrons? Why? Anyone? Yes. Mike.
Because they have different levels of knowledge or education about.
Okay, so knowledge and education is objective, subjective?
Subjective. They have a different.
Okay, how many agree with Venerable Tunyala? So they say, in other words, people have different subjects. Okay. How many agree with Tunyala resents? Now, let me say, but look at it once more. And how does it appear to you? As subjective or as objective? Just look at it once more and just tell me honestly, how does it appear to you? Objective, objective, undeniably as objective, right? And what is inside is not a flower. What is inside is not a chocolate, it's water. So distinctively it's water, right? Okay, now let's see that this example, how many of you have watched a movie in a movie theater? Raise hands. Watched a movie in a movie theater. Okay, say you are watching a movie here. And where is the movie coming from? Coming from the projector. And where's the projector? Projector is behind you. So this example will hold true for the next 50 years. Perhaps the next 40 years or 30 years. Then after that, this example will become obsolete. Right? So far, it's effective for you. Why? That the most likely, in some places it might be happening already, that the screens, the movie is not coming from the projector. Movie is just from the screen, it is coming. But many of the theaters, they still have the old version. Movie coming from the projector behind you. You're getting it? Where is the movie? Movie is on the screen. Where is it coming from? Where is the movie coming from? Coming from the projector. You're getting not from the screen. Is on the screen, not from the screen. Make this distinction. The movie is on the screen, not from the screen. It's from the projector. And the projector is behind you. You're getting it? Okay. So how do we know that movie is coming from the projector? The moment the projector stops, the movie on the screen stops. You agree? Hey, louder. Yes. Okay. So now, how do we know? Okay, now look. Our mind is the best of the projector. Our mind is the best of the projectors in the universe. Unfortunately, it being the best of the projectors, this is why we are in samsara. Now, say the projectors in the movie theaters, say if you keep operating this for like 3 hours is fine, it'll keep working. It'll keep working. If it keep operating for like 24 hours, it'll break down. Yes, you agree? So when I was young, okay, no one there. Okay, when I was young, meaning that I was age 10, 11, 12, the only little fun that we had is to watch movies in school, which happened only once in a month. Yes, Ajala, right? Once in a month. And once in a month. And that too, when the movie screen, the power cut. When the power cut, there's no generator. Generator is unheard of. And if the power cut is not there, the films, they're so old that it gets what? Huh? Not tangled. Say it breaks. It breaks after 2 minutes. It breaks. Again, we have to wait like this. We learn the patience from there. This is amazing. For 10 years, we've been practicing this patience. Right? This is the only fun that we had, and we have to wait. Power cut finish. We have to go back to our respective places. So what I'm saying is that so we are watching the movie. And how do we see things as say each one of us, we are watching a movie, at the 24 hours we're watching the movie. It's all projected by your mind. And say we see things objective real or subjective. You look around, objective real, subjective real, objective real. We are all like the small children watching a movie. Small children, when they're watching a ghost movie, they will cover their head, right? You're scared of the ghost from the screen coming to you, right? The child, the ghost on the screen is seen as objectively real. You agree? Okay. So with this in mind, our mind is the best of the movie projectors. It never stops. Even if you put effort to stop it, it doesn't stop. It works 24/7. But it's so effective. So 24/7, life after life, it never stops. Because of this, the samsara is created. Okay, so with this in mind, from this what we said thus far is that, as Daniela said, that why the same object is perceived in different ways, it depends on the perceivers. Different perceivers, so objects perceived differently. How many agree with me? Okay, good. Now the next question is very important. You see what is inside this as objectively real or subjectively real? Objectively real. Objectively real means not from your mind, it's from the object. If that is the case, my question to you, at the same time, don't forget what you said, which Venerable Eternal said, that it depends on the perceivers. I'm not interested in the perceivers, I'm interested in the object. What is this object? Independent of these perceivers. You're getting it? Remove the perceivers, remove the different perceptions. What is this object? I'm not interested in the perceivers, I'm interested in the object. What is this object if I remove the perceivers? Tell me. Huh? Tell me, what is this object? Huh? Okay, let me ask our psychologist, Naima, tell me. What is this object if the perceptions are removed? What do you think? You don't have to give a philosophical answer. You don't have to give your psychology background answer. You give me what do you think.
Could you please repeat the question?
Okay, because you want to give a correct answer. Okay, my question is, say you are seeing this water, and the physicists, particle physicists would see this electrons, protons, neutrons. They don't see water. Right? And then I asked Dhyala as to say why different perceptions take place. For some they see water, for some there's no water but just a bunch of electrons, protons. So why different perceptions taking place? Because the perceptions are different, perceivers are different. Right? So now I'm asking, how does this object appear to objective or subjective? Objective. It is there. It's not that my mind is creating it. This is how it appears. So therefore I'm interested in the object. What is this object? What is this object inside? What is this object independent, removing the perceivers? Okay, Naima, you think, and you give me the answer a little later. Anyone else? Okay, Igor.
It's unknowable in principle.
Unknowable principle.
Unknowable in principle. It's undetermined. Indeterminate.
Indeterminate object. You know that it's indeterminate object.
I don't know. I'm just trying to guess.
Okay. Now look. So that say okay, don't forget what okay, say it again. What's this object? Independent of the, keeping aside the perceivers. What is this object?
Indeterminate.
Not
possible to determine.
Okay, the inexpressible object.
I would say not defined.
Not defined object. Not defined object. Okay, don't forget it. Anyone else? Over there. Bindu. Oh, it does not exist. So non-existent exists. If there's no subject, then it does not exist. Okay, so the absence of it exists. Absence of water exists then. Okay, so Okay, when Bindu said, aha means, her answer is challenged. Okay, anyone else? Okay, the lady here.
Alexandra, so it's like effect of water, yeah? If there is like person, like a water, so there is like object. If there is no water, there is no object, so...
If there's nobody who watches it, then there's no object. How many agree with, what's your name? Voleta. No, what's your name? Alexander. How many agree with Alexander? Raise hands. If there's nobody who watches it, then there's nothing there. Raise hands. Raise hands. Okay. Look at those people who raise hands. Look at those people who raise hands. Okay. Make sure that you go to the house and check the safe. Check the safe. Alexander, her safe, check if it's locked or not. If it's locked, what they say is not true. Right? Nobody watches it, but they locked it. You're getting it? Right? So if there's nothing there, why are you locking it? No, why are you locking it? You locked it. There's nothing inside. Right? Because nobody's watching it. Why did you lock it? Right? Okay, what is it inside? What is this? Independent of the object. Okay, Naima.
Sorry, I didn't get the question earlier.
The question is?
Yeah, now I got it.
Okay, you got it.
So I feel like it wouldn't really depend on the perceivers. If the properties of water exist, it would exist independently of the perceivers.
Okay, if the perceivers were gone, then what is it?
But there would still be someone to perceive it, right?
Say it again.
If only the object exists.
Say,
what you're asking.
What you're saying is that there's water inside. But some people say this is just electrons, protons, neutrons. And Tyana said that it depends on how you perceive it. It depends on the perceivers. I'm not interested in the perceiver subjects. I'm interested in object. What is this object? Independent of the perceivers. What is this object? If you remove all the perceivers.
So if I were to answer what it is,
yes.
then I'm still a perceiver here.
No, what I'm saying is that the perceiver is removed. What is this? How does it appear to you?
If I'm saying water...
No, my question to you is, this object, the water that you're seeing inside, this water, does it appear as objectively real or as subjectively real? How does it appear to you?
Objectively real.
Okay, let us all listen to what this girl is saying, objectively real. You're getting it? And they say, if you're thirsty, would you be happy to drink it?
Yes.
Yes. So you not only that it appears objectively real, you think that it exists objectively.
Yes.
Okay. If it exists objectively, then remove all the subjects. What is it?
It's still water.
Okay. So water is, you all agree that it appears as it is water with respect to the mind seeing this as water. Right? If that mind is removed, it doesn't make sense as water. Yes? Okay, what is this then? Okay, the girl over there.
My name is Maeve. Could we call it a potentiality?
It's a potentiality. And who sees the potentiality?
I don't know.
Okay, so keep in mind that all these questions will help you to, say, shake us from our ordinary belief. So with this, do you agree with me that it's just the perceptions, different perceptions? Object appears as different perceptions. You agree? You raise hands. And the perceptions, the different perceptions, they all can be classified into two. One, we see the object very closely, and the other, we see the object from distance. How many of you agree with me? All your perceptions can be classified into two. One, we see the object very closely, and one which sees the object from distance. Right? Okay, if you agree with this, say if you look at the Mona Lisa painting from distance, you see it's a Mona Lisa painting. If you go too closely, it's just electrons, protons, neutrons. There's no Mona Lisa painting. We agree? Okay, this is very important. And yes, afternoon, after lunch, afternoon, and a little humid, right? Say your mind may hang. And the topic is a little complicated, your mind may hang, right? Okay, still pay attention to me. Say, do you agree with me that, say, what is that? Real? Real. Real, what is real? And videos, making videos. And some people, they make the videos from distance, not closely. Right? From distance is nice. Right? Your what? Wrinkles don't come. You agree? From distance, it very youthful. Close by, not too young. You agree? Hey. Right? Okay. So distance perception, you're deliberately trying to make a distance perception to inform the audience that I'm not old. I'm young. You're getting it? And particularly your body movement, young body's movement, you do that, then people think you are young. And then they have the online chatting. Then online dating. Then going into the lion's den. Right? It happens. And then they meet. They meet and then killings happen. It's not a story. Actually killings happen. You see the person very different from what you saw in the real. You're getting it? Because creating a deceptive perception. So from distance, and the reality is different. Reality is seen more closely. So all the perceptions can fall under. Amazon is an amazing example. Amazon shopping. Wow, that's amazing, right? Wow, you look at it one by one. This is exactly what I want, and you ordered, you get something very different. Right? And you say, and some people, they're too naive. Look at the picture, said, this size is perfect. How can you decide this size on the piece of watching photograph? Oh. Right? People say that, look at this size is perfect for me. Right? It's good for you. It's not too small, it's not too big. How do you decide? By looking at the photograph. This is how we are deceived. So all our perceptions can be classified into two. So, close perception and from distance. You're getting it? All perceptions. So, close perception, though the perception which is taking place the close by the object, those perceptions are known as ultimate analysis. Ultimate analysis. And those perceptions taken from distance, those are known as conventional analysis. Ultimate analysis and conventional analysis. Okay, so with this now, we see that the say that the okay, so why the close, say the mind which sees the object closely, why that is known as the ultimate analysis, and why the other one is known as conventional analysis. This is what, so you may be wondering why. Suddenly he brought some labels. Conventional analysis and ultimate analysis. Why? Okay. So, by the way, for thus far, what have you understood it? Say, ultimate analysis, you don't have to, think too much. From what I said, you tell me. What do you understand by ultimate analysis? Raise hands. What do you understand by ultimate analysis? Raise hands. Ultimate analysis. Okay, Leon.
Thank you. I understand ultimate analysis as analysis that corresponds to reality.
Okay, that corresponds to reality, meaning what I said, I did not say reality thus far. What I said is that ultimate analysis which sees the object closely. Okay, What do you understand by conventional analysis from what I have said thus far? You don't add anything, don't delete anything. What I have said thus far. You getting it? Yes.
Я попробую ответить. Ну, абсолют — это, наверное, относительно того, кто смотрит, относительно того, кто воспринимает. Потому что, ну, вот у меня сразу пример такой пришел. То есть для микроба человеческое тело — это как целая планета, и человек для целой планеты — это как микроб. То есть в зависимости от ширины, объема восприятия появляется вот эта относительность. То есть относительно человека или относительно микроба, ну, вот так, наверное, да?
I will try to answer your question, Geshe. I think that the absolute is something that dependent on the perceiver side, on the side of the one who sees this thing. It's like, for example, microbe.
Electron microscope.
Yes.
Yes.
The human body for microbe is like a whole planet. But the human being, in comparison to our planet, is like just small, one tiny thing. And I think the width, the volume, and all things come when we compare things. So in this comparison arises this,
Thank you.
И здесь появляется вот эта относительность, да.
Arises this, conventionality, conventional.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So one thing I'd like to share with you is that when I ask questions to you, you give the answer. It can be wrong. It doesn't matter. It can be right. That's good. Even if it's wrong, it doesn't matter. But what is important is that we try to learn the facts. Try to learn the facts. You're getting it? This is so important. And particularly when somebody is learning new, I'm very particular, learn how to use this word, this sentence, and so forth. It doesn't mean that you have to just follow me blindly. This is not connotation. You learn it. Once you learn, then see if it does make sense. It makes sense to you. It makes sense, and then you understand it. On that basis, your emotions come under your control, which can otherwise trigger sadness, deep pain. It's under control. And then the calmness of your mind simply expands. When these effects come to you, you already got the concept. Once you get the concept, you can change the vocabularies. You can change the sentence structure. You don't have to be fixed with what I've said. You're getting it? Till that point, as long as you are a toddler, eat the food given by your mother. What's the baby food? What do you call it? Baby food. Right? Eat the baby food. Don't try to eat the complicated food. Once you become grown up, you don't eat the baby food. You don't have to mimic what I said. You're getting it? For the time being, for you to grow, we have to be as precise with the words, concepts, sentence structure, and so forth. You'll grow very fast. Once you've grown, you can delete all these words if you don't like. You can use your own words. You're getting it? This is very important. The point is that you have say, whatever answers that comes to your mind is perfect. Meanwhile, try to gather the facts, because we are trying to discover the reality. What is reality? Reality is facts or non-facts? Fiction. Reality. Reality means facts. So you have to gather the facts. You're getting it? This is so important. Okay, so what we said is all our minds can be subsumed under two groups, conventional analysis and ultimate analysis. And so why the minds which see things very closely is known as ultimate analysis, ultimate why. And the other one is conventional. This I'd like to share with you very quickly here. Yes. The mic.
So Geshe, the question is that now we are discussing about this close analysis, that is the ultimate analysis, and the analysis from the distance, which is a conventional analysis. So now we have knowledge about this subatomic particle, this electron, proton, neutron, and the knowledge of this microscopic studies. But this knowledge itself is not 250, 300 years old, right? It is not more than that. So earlier to that, when the Geshe and the Gurus would have been talking about this ultimate reality, How were they giving the examples of closed studies?
Wow, that's amazing. I never asked this then. I should have asked my teacher, right? Okay, I never asked. What do you do now? Okay, let's not worry. So Deepakji asked the same question. If you don't get the answer in the process, you should be getting the answer in the process. You're getting it? Okay, all of you, if you don't get the answer, then check with Deepakji. Did you get the answer? You're getting it? You should be getting the answer in the process. You're getting it? It's not metaphor, it's a reality. I'm talking about the electrons and protons. It's a reality, right? On the level of electrons and protons, there's no water. It's a reality.
But the perception of through the microscope is a conventional perception also.
Of course.
So, but we're using
I understand what you're saying. Even this question, okay, you can articulate a question. Even this answer to your question, which you're going to ask, will come to you in the process. But you have to ask this question now, so that others can hear what you're asking.
So I'm asking.
Even this electron, looking at through electron microscope is also conventional analysis.
Means even when we're putting our eye to the microscope, we're using our, sensory perception. So the same reasoning that you used could be applied to that perception.
Yes.
So then
Then
what
it becomes.
is ultimate analysis?
So, what is ultimate analysis?
Yes.
This I'm about to explain.
Okay.
You're getting it? Okay. Okay. Okay, let's say that you are hiring a person for a job in your company, and you need a person who is really good. And they say there are two that you have to know what this person's like. You have to check the history of the person. Yes, track record of this person. Then there are two sources from which you can get the information. One is the person who spent, and they say 2 days in the resort, and the resort owner is your friend. And that person who is now going to be hired stayed in the resort of your friend for 2 days. So your friend knows him for 2 days. And there's another person who's your long-term friend, so many years you've been a friend, and that person is the college mates for like 15 years. And you are very close to that person who knows this person for 15 years. And you get the information from both the sides. Your friend, who's the owner of the resort for 2 days, who stayed with that person for 2 days, and your friend who spent like 15 years together with that person. You get two opposite information. The person from the resort owner said, wow, he's an amazing person, he's so good. And your friend says, no, not so good. I would grade him from 1 to 10. He's good. He's like 4.5. And the resort owner said he's like 9.5. Who would you trust more? Whose they say information you will take it as ultimate? Which one? The resort owner or your 15 years friend? Huh? Somebody said both. Who's that? So both means that this person is good and bad both. No, for you. Because you are hiring, they are not hiring him. So you have to decide it within 1 day. So you have to get the information. So which would you take more serious? And both of them are telling the truth, what they've observed. One observed the person for 2 days. While other person observed the person for 15 years. And both are telling truth. Which of their perception, which of their feedback will be taken more seriously by you? Anyone quick? Raise hands. Raise hands. Okay, Jane.
The candidate for 15 years.
15 years. So, I'm saying which of the two information is more reliable? You're getting it? Ultimate meaning, what he said is ultimate. You're getting it? We are talking about what? Ultimate analysis and conventional analysis. Ultimate analysis, ultimate, the word ultimate. What this person said is ultimate. What others, if they differ from this person, don't trust others. Don't listen to others. What this person said is ultimate, which means that he knows the person too closely. He knows the person too closely. That is the meaning of being too close. Close inspection, this is the meaning of the ultimate. You're getting it? So, they say the one which sees the object very closely, that is known as the ultimate analysis. And as opposed to ultimate is known as conventional analysis. And why conventional? This will come a little later, not now. Okay, so now with what I've said is that there are two, all our minds can be classified into two. Conventional analysis and ultimate analysis. Okay, so what we said is that you see this as water. We see this as water. And those looking at through electron microscope, you see this just bunch of electron pressure neutrons. Where is water? No water. And you said both perceptions are correct. And which of the two perceptions is ultimate analysis? From your point of view. From your point of view. If one of the two perceptions is to be classified as ultimate analysis, one is to be classified as conventional analysis, which of the two would you classify as ultimate analysis? The one which sees the object through electron microscope. That is, one which sees, yes, electron microscope, that is known as that you call as ultimate analysis. You're getting it? The one which sees the object more closely. Now, I'm going to a little more technical. With respect to the water, what is the assessment of the conventional analysis? What is this? Say, normal person, what is this? Water. So with respect to water, you just say it is water or it's not water. Is water or not water? Say with respect to ultimate analysis, what is this? Water, not water? Not water. You're getting it? So, same object is seen as water, same object is seen as non-water. I'm not saying water is seen as water, water is seen as non-water. This is mistaken. This object, because water is with respect to the conventional analysis. So this object, which you call as water, is seen as water with respect to the conventional analysis. With respect to ultimate analysis, there's no water. There's no water. You agree? It's just electrons, protons, neutrons. And some of you still have the uneasiness there. It is electrons, protons, neutrons. These are the parts of the water. I know you have these thoughts. You have these thoughts? You feel that? Okay. So this is because we very strongly see this as water objectively, and we have very strong belief that there's objective water there. Although you talk that there's no objective water, still this belief is still there. So this is reflected in the form of saying it's just electron, protons, neutrons, there's no water, but these are the parts of the water. Don't worry about it. These will be cleared gradually. It'll take time. So what we said is that with the conventional analysis, you see this as a water. With the ultimate analysis, we see there's no water. You agree? To some extent, minimum 40%. You agree? Good. If you agree minimum the 40%, then the Heart Sutra, how many of you read the Heart Sutra which said form is empty? Say, let's say group A and group B. Group A sees this, it looks at it through your naked eyes or conventional analysis. Group B looks at it through ultimate analysis. Group A, what is this? Water. Group B, what is this? No water. Hey, group A, what is this? Water. What is group B? No water. Are you looking at the same object or you are looking at two different objects? You are looking at the same object. You getting it? Okay, now, Heart Sutra says, form is empty. What group A sees as water is what group B sees as no water, empty of water. Form is empty. Then what is next line? Emptiness form. What group B sees as no water, emptiness of water, is what group A sees as water. So emptiness is form. You got it? Okay, now what is next? Emptiness is not other than the form. What group B sees as emptiness is not different from what group A sees as water. It's the same object. You got it? Then form is also not other than emptiness. Likewise, what group A sees as water is not different from what group B sees as emptiness of water. It's the same object. So you are not looking at two different objects. You are looking at the same object, and you discover two different realities. One is the reality in the form of water, which you can utilize, and one in the form of the emptiness of water, which you cannot utilize as water. You getting it? With the same object, you discover two realities with the same object. So these two realities are known as two truths. So group A uses what? Ultimate analysis or conventional analysis? You use the conventional analysis. So the object as seen by the valid conventional analysis, in a loose sense, object as seen by the valid conventional analysis is known as conventional truth. Object as seen by the valid conventional analysis is known as conventional truth. And the object is seen by the valid ultimate analysis is known as ultimate truth. So with the same object, there are two truths. Same object, how group A sees the same object as seen by the conventional analysis. So group A, what do you see? Water. So water is what is seen by the conventional analysis, so therefore it is the conventional truth. And group B, what do you see? No water, emptiness of water. So emptiness of water is seen by which analysis? Ultimate analysis. So the emptiness of water is ultimate truth. So both these two truths, we are talking of the same object. Same object displays the nature of the conventional truth and also displays the nature of the ultimate truth depending on which perception. You're getting it? Okay, so in reality, the object, there's nothing there from the object. It's purely how you perceive. You getting it? How you perceive means it's purely subjective. It depends on the subject. And independent of the subject, object makes no sense. So this, how many you would agree with me or agree with the text here that if I'm able to see that everything is subjective, no doubt my emotions, anger, attachment, craving, all these will cool down. Resents? For example, like when you see the other person, when you think of the other person who made you smile, when you think of the other person, there's a control of your emotions. Knowing that it's just coming from my mind. It's not really from the object. You're getting it? So if this is what comes to your mind, then you will feel that if I'm able to see everything's purely coming from my mind, then my mind will be literally liberated from involuntary pull and push. Involuntary pull and push is because of seeing things as objectively real. Involuntary pull and push will stop. That is a freedom. Nobody can pull you, nobody can push you. You become so confident. That is absolute peace. At the moment, our mind is like the very ferocious waves. Waves put into waves, thrown into waves by the very strong wind. Wind of the belief in objective reality. When that wind stops, all the waves subside. They go to become extremely peaceful, the part of the ocean. So if this concept, they say, and then experientially, as the great saints, great teachers, they said, experientially, when you could feel it, goosebumps will come in your body. Because it contradicts with our emotional states. Say, with our destructive emotions of attachment, aversion, so forth, where there's involuntary pull and push happening. So this involuntary pull and push, how many want involuntary pull and push? No one. involuntary pull and push, right? Say today, we say, okay, let me go to Tushita. I'm so tired of my workplace, where my colleagues, they are not so nice. I want a short break, right? I'll go to Tushita. Then you come to Tushita. And then your friend also, your friend in your workplace, also wants to have a break. And you are not in talking terms. So also made a plan to come to Tushita for a break because he's frustrated with you. Right? And you are tired of him. He's tired of you. Right? I'm going to have a break. And then you are, and that person passes by. Right? Passes by. What happens? This mental peace is disturbed. Disturbed. Why? Mental peace is disturbed because the wind blows. Wind blows and the waves are again created. Right? What is this wind? There's no wind actually. Your self-created wind. You see that person's objectively real. So that's the problem. So when you see that, there's nothing really there is objectively. It's all coming from our mind. It's like you say, wake up, and all the contents of dream, like the very scary line bouncing on you, your friend, the loss of near dear ones of the pain of the loss of near and dear ones in the dream. The moment you wake up, you are not affected by the dream line bouncing on you. You are not affected by your dream friend or dream mother, father, loss. You are not affected. So your mind is at absolute peace, and you are very confident that this is the reality and this is how I can manage my emotion. That is a total liberation. Your mind attains a state which is not affected by involuntary pull and push. All the involuntary pull and push stops. That is when your mind becomes very confident. That is a liberation. Liberated from, liberation meaning liberated from involuntary pull and push by the external factors. This is liberation. And that is the ease. And then your mind is not affected by external factors. Then what will the mind do? One mind will manifest its true nature. You're getting it? But not affected. Say, for example, you see, say, how many you have, okay, say, how many you are, say, I know, for example, like Nicole, there, amazingly kind person, taking care of the stray dogs, and the abandoned dogs, abandoned horses and so forth. There's so much love and affection. Right? Okay. So let's say that let me do it a little later. So what I'm saying is that she will share with us. Say, when you go to rescue a dog, and some dogs can be they're being very rude, very aggressive. Yes? Some are, yes? Okay. Some are extremely aggressive, and you think that this is a very aggressive dog, right? And why this dog is behaving aggressively? This is not the true nature of this dog. I'm not talking about the Buddha nature, right? This is not how this dog behaves when this dog was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Now the dog has picked up a very different behavior, being too aggressive. He or she doesn't allow anybody to even touch you. You know why? Because of very sad stories. Tell me, like what?
Yeah, Geshe, do you want me to tell you a story?
Yes.
So the first dog that I wanted to help when I came to India, when he was a puppy, somebody tied a string around his neck.
Yes, listen.
And then when he got older, his body grew bigger, but the string did not. And so the string was very embedded in his neck, and it was very bloody and very ugly. And he was very hard to catch, actually. And I didn't catch him. There's a nonprofit in Bangalore called Compassion Unlimited Plus Action, and they did it. They took care of the whole thing. But I learned that the reason he was so hard to catch was because there were also very many maggots in his neck when they finally were able to do the operation. And they said he wouldn't have lived much longer because of all the maggots. And I guess the string was like pressing on his organs. And they said when a dog is like that bloody, they smell really bad. So people throw rocks at them because they don't want the dog anywhere near them.
Exactly.
So he was very afraid of people.
Oh.
And so when he stayed at the rescue center, his body healed, and also he became much more like trusting and comfortable around people. And then they put him back on the street. So that actually is an example of a dog that we were trying to help him. But it was very difficult because he had such a very traumatic experience with people.
Exactly. So this story, how this dog behaved as very aggressive and so forth, is because of the dog having gone through traumatized by the people. So he or she doesn't trust the people. When somebody comes to touch, would suspect that again is going to create more problem on me. So in defense, this poor dog becomes aggressive. You're getting it? This is not the true nature of this dog, right? How do you know the true nature of the dog then? Once the dog is treated, remove the string, break it, and then the maggots removed, and then they healed, and then you give love, proper food, then give him his own time, space, and you give love. Then gradually the dog will feel your love and affection. So at that point you see that the dog feels so free. Then the dog will manifest his true nature. You're getting it? Of gentleness, wagging the tails, just barking at you to tell you that I agree with you. Barking doesn't mean that, biting you. Just say that I agree with you, I love you. You're getting it? And wagging the tail and barking, which means I love you. So this is true nature. So likewise, our mind, why this dog is becoming so defensive. This is how our mind is being involuntarily pushed. Involuntary push. That is your mind becomes very defensive. Involuntary push happens. And when the involuntary push of the other, when that doesn't happen, then the fear comes to you. What will happen to me next? The fear. This is not your true nature. So all these things are triggered by the belief in things as objectively real. Just imagine if there's somebody who's extremely cruel and nasty, and you know that person, the person really traumatized you, and then if you are forced to sit next to the person with eye contact, how uncomfortable you'll feel. You agree? And if you are told, okay, now you don't have to be with that person. Just imagine that person. You can still imagine it. But to see, you will see the other person so objectively real. That gives rise to involuntary push. So, involuntary push and involuntary pull. Involuntary pull is attachment. Involuntary pull is attachment. When the attachment is severe, you know the reactions. When the attachment is severe, how the person behaves. When the attachment is severe, when the anger is severe, how the person behaves. These are not the true nature. This is all because of the ignorance, seeing the object as object real. So just imagine that this involuntary pull and push happens, how the person behaves so differently under the sway of the involuntary pull and push. In the dream, you wake up, all this involuntary pull and push in the dream stops. To know that this is all just coming from a mind, not object real. There is a freedom. Freedom from involuntary pull and push. You can freely display your nature. There's nothing which can affect you. There is a total freedom and total fearlessness. This is freedom. Okay. Can we stop here?